Recently departed duo Matthijs de Ligt and Frenkie de Jong played a huge part in the Ajax squad last season that made it through to the Champions League semi-final. They've set a fantastic example of what the youth at Ajax can produce and achieve on the pitch. Two players you need to know more about are Brobbey and Ryan Gravenberch. I'll be looking into their qualities, similarities to top players, and why they could be the next ones to shine. Let's waste no time in introducing the Ajax goal-scoring wonderkid, Brian Brobbey. The 17-year-old Dutchman has had 2 full seasons at Ajax where he's produced some serious numbers that have caught people's eye. In the under-17 squad, he played 24 games and scored 26 goals alongside 6 assists. From there, he was promoted to the under-19 squad where he went on to score 36 in 38 games, with 7 assists too. This really is an outstanding goal-scoring record. So let's take a look at the style of player that Brian Brobbey is. The first thing to point out about Brian is that he's an attacking powerhouse. He's got a fantastic build for a 17-year-old, and without a doubt this is what causes problems for the youth that he plays against. His strength and pace then combine to create an unstoppable power when he's controlling the ball around the opposition. Watching his goals for Ajax and the Netherlands, you'll see the ball is being played through the middle into him often, where he can run off the defender and straight onto the ball. He can then use his power to stride into the box where he can push off a defender if needed and then take a shot at goal. Plus, Brian is no different to any other strong striker, as he'll use that strength of his to hold up the ball for the other attackers around him. Similar to Aston Villa's new striker Wesley, Dean Smith is able to instruct Wesley to use his strength to keep the ball at his feet as he waits for support in an attacking opportunity. This was seen in the second goal versus Everton. Maybe Wesley didn't exactly have to use his strength here as the defenders didn't pressurise him, but it was a good example of the role he's being asked to play in Aston Villa's Premier League system. This season, Brian has moved up another level in the youth structure at Ajax. He'll now be playing within the under-21 squad. The good thing about this is that the under-21s participate in the Dutch second division, so the opposition he'll be up against will be a big step up. It will be interesting to see if he can keep a similar goal tally to what he's been producing at the lower levels. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on his performances this season. Next up is Ryan Gravenberch, a dominant central midfielder who is also 17 years old, the same as Brian. He's in fact made his debut in the Ajax senior team, only once though back in September of 2018 where he came off the bench and played 7 minutes, making him the youngest ever Ajax player to play in the Eredivisie. Not much playing time, but it shows that he's been noticed by the first team manager and will be given a big opportunity when the time is right. His stats for last season, 2 goals and 9 assists in 27 games, but already this season in 3 games he's scored 1 and assisted 1 too. The goal not long ago against NEC Nijmegen happened when the ball fell just outside the box for him to rocket it into the back of the net. But realistically, you don't expect a ridiculous tally of goals and assists from a central midfield player. In his central midfield position, he will usually play the role of an attacking creator. He loves to drive forward with the ball, go past players and take up space. This trait is very similar to Paul Pogba. You'll often see him take the ball from deep and run forward while making himself big, taking long strides, therefore making it very difficult for the opposition to get the ball off him. You could imagine that the attackers love playing with Gravenberch behind them in the midfield. The reason for this being that he's got great vision when playing the ball into them. He makes forward passes and long balls into key areas look easy. These kinds of players maybe don't get many assists themselves, but they play a vital part in creating the chance for the goals in the first place. What he adds to a team is an all-in-one transition between the defence and the forwards, using his power and vision to create an opportunity for the attackers in front of him. Like said previously, he's already scored and assisted this season, so potentially this could be an early sign of good form. With an appearance in the first team already, plus being a few times on the bench, we can only imagine that the first team coaches will be keeping an eye on him for if he hits form this season. And if so, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get some more minutes in the first team sometime soon. Matthijs de Ligt started getting regular appearances in the Eredivisie when he was 17, so I don't see why Gravenberch couldn't have his breakthrough this year too. For Brian Brobbey, it may be that he has to wait a while longer to prove himself at under 21 level and show the first team coaches that he can keep scoring goals against tougher opposition. Something we haven't mentioned yet is that these two will be playing together. A Gravenberch and Brobbey link-up could be great to watch. There is plenty of hidden talent around, so comment below who you think could be the next big player that no one knows about. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.